Hi, everybody. Hi, Stream Queen Con 3 in Bitch Puddings. For those who don't know me or recognize me from this iconic pizza onesie, I won Dragula Season 2, so I'm a horror girly. I'm a huge fan of the game we're talking about today. Welcome to the panel Into the Drag. This is the Drag Fog Whispers panel, and I'm really happy to be here because I feel like the killer, because I'm the only drag queen that's not a fog whisperer on this panel. But before we get into it all, let's introduce our panelists today. Let's start with the stream queen herself, the Play What You Fear diva, Dear.
Well, my name is Dear. I mean, if anyone has been watching Stream Queens Con 3, you might have just seen me 5 minutes ago. I was just on the last panel, the Mama, but I'm back. My name is Dear. Let's Play What You Fear. I love to play scary games up in here. And so I love Dead by Daylight, and I became a fog whisperer in 2020 during the pandemic, because during Halloween, I did a little series where I did face paints inspired by perks, because there's so much beautiful art that I feel like the artists of Dead by Daylight don't get credit for. So I made perks into face paints. And today I'm wearing Naya's iconic Toxic hoodie. So I do love the game. Happy to be here.
Lovely to hear that, Dear. Let's go on to Trashly. Please introduce yourself, fog whisperer diva.
Hi, I'm Drag Trashly here because I garbage can entertain you. I've been a fog whisperer. I can't even remember. I think it was 2021 after I did my Hatchlorette series where I was looking for my love or killer main. That's all.
That was very rough. Thank you.
Well, I did cosplays. It was weird because I dated all these killers, but I did cosplays of each killer. There's 25 at the time, I think. And so I did a cosplay and had a date night with each of them. You know, the way you want to dress up exactly like your date is when you go on a date with someone. You want to make sure you look exactly like them. So, yeah.
Reflect their energy.
I would love Plague Mommy to vomit in all of my holes, please. Okay, thanks. Elix, let's talk about you. Please introduce yourself to the Stream Queens Con audience.
Thank you, Miss Bitch. Hi, everyone. I am Elix, the first drag queen fog whisperer. I became a fog whisperer in 2019, I believe, when it officially launched, like for reals. I've done a lot of Jean Romero cosplays, and I feel like I kind of look like her. I have her cheekbones, kinda, and her tits. Oh, can I say that? Yes, I can. I have a lot of her silhouettes, so we strive there. I've done Lisa Garland, my own interpretation of the Huntress, and I've been playing DBD since October of 2017. And yeah.
Period. Esports. I live. Avidius, let's do you next. Please introduce yourself to this fabulous group of people.
Hi, I'm Avidius, your busty bearded beer loving babe here on Twitch. I've been playing Dead by Daylight since 2019. I stumbled across Elix's stream actually and won a giveaway for Demise of the Faithful, and have been doing it ever since. I became a fog whisperer last year. They ran into my TikTok, reached out to me, and wanted to know what kind of community I wanted to build. And I just want to make sure that fun is first whenever we play. Have a good time, have a couple cocktails, and laugh our butts off.
Yeah.
See, which if you're drinking something, y'all, cheers to DBZ and take a sip.
Cheers
I'm
to
being
that.
sober. I got my Diet Dr. Kelp today, but
love that.
And bitch, speaking of winning a DLC, like Avidius just
I was about to go back to you, Diva. Please, we got some giveaways happening throughout this panel. So if you guys are hungry for blood points and all the accoutrements, Trashly, please tell the kids what they might win.
Right now, we're doing a giveaway for Roots of Dread DLC. That's the Dredge, and that's Haiti. It's for all platforms where the DLC is available, and it's you would type !DLC in the chat if you would like to enter. Winners will be announced in the chat, and Ahmad will whisper you if you win. I think we're going to probably, like halfway throughout the panel, announce our first wave of winners. And make sure you don't have DMs disabled, so Ahmad can whisper you.
Oh my God. You see, we be whispering. We got the fog whispering drag people here. We be whispering.
Yes. And these were provided by Dead by Daylight themselves.
Yay! Thank you, Behavior.
Thank you, Behavior, for sponsoring this panel.
Thank you, Miss Behavior.
Oh, she was misbehaving. Absolutely. We love to see it. All right. So we kind of touched on this, but I'd like to know more about how you guys came into becoming a fog whisperer? When did you start playing DBD? I know we kind of mentioned that a little bit, but does anyone have like a really moment where you like heard about the game and then you were like, wait, you can survive or you can kill people? How do I join?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. No, you go, Elix.
Oh gosh, I remember I used to be a workaholic, and then I got this job and I had time to play games, and I was like, I want to look for a quick game, not something that, I can invest all my time to, something I can jump into a match and then you're done. I want to play
Yeah.
something horror, something that might scare me, maybe even giving me a little bit of anxiety. And so I went on Steam and I just started looking up horror games, and then I saw like this game with all these iconic killers like Michael Myers, Freddy Krueger, and so I was like, let's try this. Well, not Freddy Krueger, he wasn't out yet, but I saw Michael Myers, and I wanted to be a Laurie Strode main at the time when I was a survivor and not Hag. And so I launched it and I just completely fell in love with it. And then playing with people, having a good kiki, drinking, that's what made me fall in love with Dead by Daylight. And then I switched to Killer, and then I just strive to be the #1 Hag, and I am. And it was a
What
moment.
was like that? Like, did you pick Hag off the bat, or was it like, because you
So-
guys don't know what Elix is known for? Elix Sama is known for being the #1 Hag bitch. Okay, she will
Oh my God, I'm
teleport,
turning
yank your ass.
red. Yes, whatever you're doing, if you're cleansing those bones, if you're on a generator, if you pop that trap, honey, I'm gonna pull you from your neck.
For the
But
gods.
no, for the gods, yes. The first killer I actually started playing with was Miss Huntress, and she was I'm like, I like her because she can throw shit, and it's kind of, an FPS moment. But then I didn't like her, and then I saw Miss Hag, and she was just so tiny and cute. And then so I chose her, and what I loved about her is that, in my opinion, virtually she's the fastest killer in the entire game. I would even say more than Blight, because she can fucking teleport from like point A to point Z and literally drop you. So to me, she was the fastest. My brain is very fast paced, so Hag aligns with that. And I just think she was one of the most interesting characters too. She's just so different from the killer dynamic, and I really wanted to make her my own because no one really played her at the time. She wasn't even buffed at the time, but we made her buff by the way I played her.
So you quit Huntress because she couldn't secure the record deal, because she'd be singing that
Yes.
lullaby, and okay.
That lullaby, yeah, it did not align with the notes. She did not possess the vernacular she thought she did. I think her mother lied to her several times, and so I left her at that. That and my aim was kind of not best.
I live.
And yeah.
It's not about your aim, it's about having fun. And Deer has the most fun killing people. I know you like being a pig, Miss
Oh.
Piggy. But how did you hear about the game? And then how did your journey of becoming a fog whisperer?
Well, yes. Ooh, whisper. I heard about the game like before it released, actually. Like in 2016, I saw a trailer, and it was the initial like teaser trailer, and it showed versions of the characters that don't even exist. Like literally there was a girl, this like beautiful Black woman with dreads up in a bun with tattoos. Like she was so cute. I wish they would add her. I don't know who she was the beta version of. I think that someone said it was Meg at one point, because like she had running things. I don't know. But there were characters in this trailer teaser that don't even have any sort of representation in the final game. It only showed the Trapper. I remember I got a new PC to play Overwatch with Chad, and I don't like Overwatch, so I immediately had to find a new game to play. And so I recalled that trailer I saw.
Thankfully, we're not sponsored by Overwatch today.
Yeah. So I had a brand new PC, and I was like, it can actually run things. And I got Dead by Daylight, and I played it when there were only 4 characters, no cosmetics, 3 killers, and 3 levels. Like the game has changed so much since then. And I remember when Mori's would work like the first time you down someone is when you could Mori someone. So now there's like a safety precaution way where you have to be down twice, and it has to be like basically your third hook state is when you can be killed. No, back then
Tombstone.
Back then it was, if you went into a Huntress match and you all got downed, honey, moried. The game is 2 minutes long. It's like an Elix match, but every match was that way.
Yeah.
But I remember when it was in its little baby stages, and I love seeing it come all the way to where it is now. And I've just always loved the game because I love horror. I just think it's like just like Elix said, it's so accessible. It at times it can feel very frustrating, based on the dynamics, but I love that whether you're having a good match or a bad match, it's like 20 minutes max. And then you're on to a new match or you're on to your day. Like you can come and go with it. It's not like a story game where you got to sit through that cutscene. You don't have to like struggle really hard to like unlock things. Like the unlockables and the rifts are just like from doing things passively most of the time. Like I just love how accessible and easy it is. And I love how back then when it started, there were no charms, barely any cosmetics. I love all the representation they brought with the different characters, the different charms, all the different lore. Because at the time when it first came out, there was no lore. It was just here is the killer, here is the survivor. They look the way they look. There's nothing else to it. But now there's representation within the game too, which I appreciate.
Yes, God. We'll be getting into that a little later. But Vidius, why don't you talk to me? Tell us where your journey with DBD found it. Like, did you find it through a trailer like Dear did, or did you just find it by searching horror and that good gospel that is Steam?
I know. I didn't even know about Steam before I started Dead by Daylight. I know. I was a Guild Wars 2 star.
Period. Wait,
Okay,
we'll talk. Different panel. I gotta unpack that later with you.
So I played it for years, and then a lot of my friends were like growing up and having kids and getting married, and I needed something to do. So I was just browsing, I think, on YouTube, and then I found my way onto Twitch, and then I found Puppers, and I saw Puppers was playing Dead by Daylight, and then through Puppers, I found Elix, and he had mentioned like Elix was like a kick-ass hag, and I was like, oh my god, they're also a drag queen too. And I was a drag artist here locally, and just like seeing a game, I loved. I had some friends that played FPSs, but my aim was totally garbo, and I'm like, I can just run and hold on to a button and do a skill check. Like I'm good. I'm pretty good at this. So I did that, and then eventually fell in love with playing the Plague. So I'm a Plague main. I love the style. I love being able to win through attrition and make good calculated decisions, and kind of punish the survivors for making bad choices. So it's kind of
like
how I stumbled.
Mother.
Like mother.
Mother.
I live.
And bird
Awesome.
feed
Oh my
them.
God. And yeah, we gays are really good at button pressing. Trashly, how about you? How'd you hear about the game?
I
And
think
then what made
I
you
just
become
had
a fog whisperer?
I think I just had friends that were playing it, and they invited me to play, and I was like, okay, this is fun. And then they were already good at it, and they were already playing, and so I was really bad, and we were going up against pretty difficult killers, and I actually got so frustrated. I started streaming it, and I just found like comfort in streaming it because I would usually play with friends. And so I really fell in love with that. It was also like the first time I think I played a game of this type, like an asymmetrical horror. I don't know if Dead by Daylight invented the genre, but it's like they're definitely like the main game that is recognized as that genre. And so it was very exciting, and I loved it. I started streaming it, and I think my Elix invited me to do a pride event with her and Deer, and I think Deer emailed Dead by Daylight and was like, you need to give Trashly the Twitch shirt because she needs to match us when we play.
I did girl boss it. I was like, we want to wear them during the Pride event. So, because they had already given me one, and Elix is obviously a fog whisperer. So she already had it. So I was like, hi, please give Trashly a Twitch shirt. And I'm like, keep her in the back of your mind. Take note of Trashly.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
And so then I was like, I kept making the joke that I'm not a fog whisperer, but I'm a fog slut because I like do their events. Like I filled in for a Pride event. I did a Dead by Daylight Halloween tournament thing. What was that?
It was Twitch Rivals.
Twitch Rivals.
Twitch Rivals, and we won.
I filled in for
second place. Elix got first place.
Trixie couldn't make it, so they called me, and by called me I mean they DM'd me, and I only knew that because the schedule had Trixie listed, and I was like, well, no one else isn't here. And so then I started the Hatchelorette series because I started playing Killer more. I never played Killer at first, except maybe like a couple Trapper games, because Trapper is simple. You just set traps and you don't really do anything, and you don't really win either. So I wanted to find a Killer main, And so I started like the Hatchlorette, kind of like the Bachelorette. I think my first stream I called it 51st dates.
51st, yeah.
51st dates, Trashly finds a killer main, and I was gonna play 50 games with each killer, and then I downsized because that was fucking insane. So then I recorded stats with the help of Liz, who documented a lot more than I did. But I was looking for win percentage, how many of the 10 or so games I played with them that I won, amusement, like how much I enjoyed playing it, and then public image, how much other people enjoy playing against the killer, and that's the WAP score, which I did before that drag music thing did, because they did a WAP score too, and I was like, they stole that from me.
Oh.
Not credit.
Well, being the
Right.
blood print that you are, and you being, you know,
The blood print.
The blood
yeah,
print.
that you are and pioneering in that space when you finally got to become you're a Fog Whisperer now, right?
Well, then
Correct?
Elix was sending pictures of my cosplay to the Fog Whisperers Discord.
Yep.
So basically, Elix and Deer pulled me up into the Fog Whisperers. But
they
yeah,
were like, our sister's not here, and
they
we need her
definitely
here.
Open the door.
they
unlock
definitely
the
noticed
windows,
me
Trash was gonna
through the Hatchlorette
crawl in
series
here.
mostly, and yeah, and then they invited me, and I was so excited to finally be a part.
So when you went from slut to full-time whisperer, what did that mean to you after all that grinding and all that sleuthing and filling in, when you finally got that title and that game? I know the game means a lot to you. What did that mean to you when you finally got the Fog Whisperer?
I wanted to do it, but I didn't think they'd want another drag queen, because I was like, they're not gonna have more than 2 drag queens as
Right.
a Fog Whisperer. That's crazy. And then Evo. So there was 3 actually, because Evo was announced, and I was like, well, there goes my chance. 3rd drag queen, not gonna be me now. And so when they invited me, I was so excited, and because you get to represent the game, like you get to be like, I don't know, like a representative for the game. You get giveaways for your community. It was also nice that the game was recognizing queer content creators as well, not only queer content creators but drag artists, which I feel like a lot of companies are scared of. It's like, especially, well, more recently, but yeah. So it meant a lot to me, just as the game, as Behavior Interactive itself, just like supporting so many drag artists, which I guess is 4, but at the time it was 4. But like, it also
Which is
was
a lot
like,
for a lot of companies. Don't do
Right.
that, especially now. It's like a hype
Mhm.
train, and now it's like the fad. But like at that time, I know, like when you were onboarded, I remember that was such a thing. And then like everyone's like, oh my god, did you go like tell Hot Trashly congratulations and stuff like that? It was like, it's a new thing. It was like not a precedent. And I feel like Behavior was like a pioneer in that space.
yeah.
Exactly. What about you, Avidius? How did you feel when you finally became a Fog Whisperer?
I don't know. Like I laughed, I cried, I lost 5 pounds. It was great.
Eat, pray, love. Eat, pray,
I
kill.
know. I was really
Eat,
excited.
pray, queef.
I think like many of my like other siblings and stream queens, like we just make it fun. We make it funny. I think we take the sweat out of it. And even like when we are slaying, when we are killing, like just being able to, like, it's no big deal. Like it's great, but we make it look effortless. And I think that's what a lot of people like. DBD is a very accessible game, which I think was missing from the space and still has a lot of work to do. You can go jump in a lobby. They've made a lot of advances. When I first started playing Survivor, I thought exposed meant that the killer could see you. So that was very, very difficult. Like you get the little icon, you're like, oh crap, they can see me.
Oh my god, no! I'm shy. Don't look at
not
me.
Like, no, where's my pasties? But I wanted the opportunity to kind of jump into a very large queer population within a video game as well, and be powerful. That's what drag queens do. We like hop up on stage and perform in a club, and we entertain people and give them a little bit of escapism. So Behavior giving me that platform to do more of that kind of work is something I was very excited to do and still am.
Love to see it.
I love how accessible it is. I mean, we've all sort of touched upon it, but it is so cool to be like, I don't know what to do, whether it's for stream or off stream. It's just awesome to be like, hey gals, whoever, like come play Dead by Daylight with me, because it's just you load it up and then you're in a match and you can play with 3 other friends, or you can even play Kill Your Friends where the
Mm.
5th person is the killer. And we're gonna see that later on after this panel. But it's just so cool that there's a game that is not super expensive. It's pretty affordable on most platforms, which is cool, and it even sometimes has free weekends. And it's cool to just be like, I want to play with my besties, and it's just the coolest to be able to do
I
that.
don't know. I know I've already talked, but I don't know. Have you tried teaching someone how to play? I feel like I'm like the other night. I'm
That's
like,
part
okay,
of
don't do that, but you got to hit your skill check. But now she's running this, and this killer can do this, and she's running
Can
this
you
first.
stop
So
describing
actually,
me, please? When you're playing with me, can you stop describing? I don't take kindly to that. Thank you.
It's no one on a
do-
Jen.
the general concept is easy, but gets very like there's a lot to learn.
Mhm.
it's accessible in the
There's
sense that
nuances.
it's like camaraderie. Like, you're all
Yeah.
focused on one goal, and it forces you to work as a team. I mean, there are other games, but like this, like you literally need to work as a team in order to get out. Sometimes you have to sacrifice yourself for your friends, which is really fun. And I think the more accessibility is about it, it's just a key. Like, you can hop in a call and like you're
Mhm.
literally just talking for like as the game queues up, because sometimes that queue can sit for a minute and you hear the bing bong bing bong, and while you're all like slowly twerking into it, you're having a good talk, and then all of a sudden you get murdered and running by the killers. I think it is accessible. And for someone who sucks at the game like me, it's really fun. I can just crouch on the grass. I'm immersed, as Dear would say.
I'm
Period.
immersed. I like that when you're playing with friends, like there is a slight chance that like you'll never be found. So like the
Mhm.
other people can sort of pull more weight than you, because like when you're playing FPS games and there's 4 against 4, sometimes it's like if your tank is broken or like your sniper isn't doing what they need to do, like your team is done. In Dead by Daylight, I feel like some people can pull more weight to like to carry their teammates in a
There
way.
you go, talking about Elix again.
Wow.
Yeah, Elix carries me. Yeah.
Yeah, we've all been carried by Elix at one point, and it was really hot.
Please.
But speaking about being DBD being the key, the bloodiest key of all, Elix, what's your favorite part about like playing the game with friends?
I think I mean, the conversation. Well, it really depends because sometimes I'm really competitive. Y'all said, no sweatiness. I can get pretty fucking sweaty. And I think it's just because I strive to be the best. But with Survivor, like, there's some leeway there. But no, my favorite part probably just depending what I play. If it's on Hag, it's killing everyone and making sure everyone is dead. No one took the hatch. No one snuck and opened that gate. They all must die, and their livers belong inside of me because I love things inside of me. And then when I'm Survivor, I want to make sure I do everything I can to the killer. If it's throwing a pallet in their big, hard, long nose, or if it's, whatever, like flashlighting them and blinding them and pushing them off a cliff, like those are just my favorite things to do on Dead by Daylight. But mostly just being, with my girlies or my boys or my
Same.
monarchs, and having a couple of drinks in, and you're just having a nice buzz and you're kikiing. And I don't know, it really just not only helps you be better at the game, but also really helps you develop your relationships with people you already know or new people, and then networking and all that
Mhm.
shit. But yeah, that.
Definitely.
Oh,
That's
and
how I learned Elix was so mean and judgmental.
thank you.
I think that's like part of drag, and I think that's why drag is so tightly.
I love how you
associated.
shine the back of his head, Trashly. That's very nice.
Oh, okay, so context for that. When Trashy tries to save you with a flashlight, she aims at the back of the head. She'll be in front of the killer, but she'll do a whole 180 to get behind that bitch and flashlight the killer behind the head. Like, there's eyes there. Like, it's that one fucking movie where the girl has her twin still attached to the back of her head.
Malignant, yeah.
Malignant, yeah. It's a malignant moment with Trashly. Yeah.
We love a good malignant moment. Speaking of malignant moments, Fog Whispers are often promoted on the DBD socials. Y'all be serving mug or just a highlighted clip. Now, what response do you guys usually get as a Fog Whisperer? And sometimes you do run into that trolley space or negativity. How do you guys deal with that? Trash, let's start with you.
I don't know. I feel like the first time I was promoted by the Dead by Daylight Twitter, I was like looking at every single response. I was looking at all replies. I literally did nothing else all day. Because I've never had gotten like I was never tagged in a tweet that had gotten that much attention. And so I was constantly just like obsessed, and I was replying to like even every troll, but yeah, the response is usually very negative. There's like a couple of different responses. One, the most common response is, fix your game. Why can't I do this? Why can't I do this? Why can't like it's literally just like they posted a picture of me and people are being like, why are you spending so much time posting drag queens when your game is broken? And so that's like the main response. And then it's like a lot of, our support and love, which we love to see. And there's a lot of people in the LGBTQ community that play Dead by Daylight, like Avidius was talking about. And so a lot of love from there. And then you have the trolls. And I feel like Deer's really good at dealing with them. I need to just not even look at it and read it. So I just don't. But I feel like Deer could tell you. I see her comments and replies to tweets, and they're so funny.
I just
Yeah.
like
So let's go to Dear. Dear, when you feeling saucy about, or feeling some kind of way about trolls and negativity, because we're drag artists on
Yeah.
public forums and platforms, and it's hot in this era of being out and proud and fabulously queer. How do you deal
Mhm.
with that?
I just like when I'm in drag, I feel so powerful. I feel so beautiful. I feel so just like physically tall, but also like emotionally tall. Like I feel like I'm just like I have like an insurmountable amount of pride in what I do and how I can represent my community and how I can inject myself into new spaces and like create that place for people to be like, oh wow, I didn't know that I was allowed to be gay or trans or a drag queen or like any sort of anything. Like I didn't know that I was able to exist in this space. And whenever Dead by Daylight or anyone else uh, with a bigger platform than me reposts me or post me for the first time, it's just I'm so proud of it and I'm so happy and I'm just filled with so much emotion because I can create that space for others. And for anyone to come at me with like a comment telling me that I look a certain way or act a certain way, sound a certain way, like you can't tell me anything because I'm the most powerful bitch in the world at that moment. And I'm like Dead by Daylight in this context, they reposted me. They didn't repost you that's complaining. They're not reposting whoever. They posted me and they posted me for a reason and they like what I do and that's all I need. It's like I don't need anyone else's seal of approval. And to me it's a joke if someone wants to come on my post that's already posted and like troll me and say certain things. So I just make a joke of it back. It's like it's not that serious. I'm clearly a drag queen. I'm aware of how I look, I'm aware of how I sound, and I'm aware of how I act. And I'm just playing a video game having a good time. So someone coming in with negativity is just hilarious to me because it's never ever going to be that serious.
It's just drag, baby.
Like
Yeah.
it's just
Mhm.
drag. It's
It's
just
Yeah.
drag, honey.
And people that misconstrue it is like so silly. Like one time someone was like, "Oh my gosh, this person told me that they're not," like I was talking about like, "I'm so proud that my community is represented in this game." Like it was like with the flag in the game or something like that. And someone was like,
Mhm.
"This queen told me that they're straight. They're not even like part of the LGBT." And I'm like, "What are you talking about? You're making stuff up." It's just like hilarious how far trolls will go to like get under your skin because
Yeah.
it's just ridiculous. Like I'm just having a fun time. Other people should have more of a fun time because if you're coming for me, you're clearly unwell. Like,
yeah.
worry about other stuff if you're worried about drag. Like, drag is harmless, especially with a video game.
Speaking of dealing with trolls and stopping it up with no crumbs, Elix, I feel like you're one of the best to come out with the slick mouth and really gather a bitch, either in your
Well,
stream or online. And I'd be sitting there like Angela Bassett on American Horror Story with popcorn and be eating it. So, how do you deal with the trolls in that space when DBD's like, hey, girl, let's post
So
this tag?
I'm not saying that, this is an expectation when you come into not just playing Dead by Daylight, but being, a personality, especially online, it's going to come with a territory. You're going to have people who praise you. You're going to have people who fucking hate you, want you to die, don't want you here in their space. And no one should have to deal with that. But we're still in a time right now where we're going to have to deal with that, unfortunately. And the way I deal with it is I went to high school. I was severely bullied in high school. I was bullied at home. I come from a very traditional, very Catholic family, very verbally and physically abusive for just being who I am. And so that kind of, I guess, prepared me to really, want to do this and play Dead by Daylight. And I'm not saying Dead by Daylight is one of the most toxic games. I feel like there's so many toxic games out there. But the way I deal with a bitch is if they come into my chat, I just, what are you? I'm successful. I'm on Vogue. And I just won an award. And I'm getting paid by you right now because you're watching me. That's probably the
Period.
number one thing I get. Like, what are you? I'm
Mhm.
just so proud in who I am. And it took me so long to accept who I was. I didn't accept who I was till I was in my early 20s, just because I was so freaking Catholic. And a little bitch coming into my chat and just, saying what they're saying in a negative way, a negative connotation, it's just not it's not going to affect me because I am just so proud of who I am. And I want people to know how proud I am. God, America Ferrera said a beautiful thing that it took her a long time to really accept who she was, her Hispanic heritage, her background, her accent when she spoke. And I, in a way, related to that. And she said, my identity is now what's pulling me down. My identity is my superpower. And it was one of the most beautiful things I ever heard because I felt that same way about being a feminine person naturally. I'm not faking the way I sound, my mannerisms. That's just who I am. It's built in me, it's in my brain, it's in my soul. So because it took me so long to accept who I was and how difficult and painful it was for me at first, I just cannot let a nothing affect what I'm doing. I like to look at the silver lining in everything. If people are talking, if it's good or bad, they're talking about you. You're living rent free, and more people are going to know who you are. And that's just how I treat the whole situation. If they are in my chat saying whatever the fuck they want, if they are in my Steam profile, which if you guys see the comments are pretty disgusting. If they are sending the cops to my house, whatever it is that they're doing, nothing's ever going to stop me. Why? Because I want to inspire other people to be the same. Find yourself and be yourself and fuck the haters. Use them to your advantage.
Amen.
Roaches in the chat, everybody. Roaches in the chat.
Thank
And
you,
that sounds
Malignant
low.
Mother. Thank you, Malignant Mother. We love it. Thank you. That was really beautiful. Ividius, hate to follow that, but like we all deal
Yeah.
with trolls in different ways on Dragula. I dealt it by like just showing it with my actions and making those bitches eat their words that she's not a monster. Look where the queen is now. What about you? How do you deal with the trolls in that public space when sometimes EBD might share you or even like in your chat while you're streaming?
Yeah, I mean, I am an atypical drag artist. I've got a little fuzzy, a little follically inclined, if you will. And so I cause like a special kind of of confusion, dare I say, from people.
Same.
But like, yeah. But honestly, I think it's a good time. I take the opportunity to be somebody that I needed. I take the
Mhm.
opportunity to be somebody that I needed 5, 6, 7 years ago, or when I was coming out, to say like, who gives a shit? Like you are an anonymous. I mean, they're not coming out. It's not a Dear profile. It's not an Elix profile. It's somebody with some weird ass anime avatar. That's user 567044321. You know, I'm just like,
We love an
you
area
know,
code and an anime reference. Stan,
right?
bitch.
And I'm just
Word.
like,
515.
right, exactly. My IQ and my credit score. And I'm just
Blood
like,
type.
that's right. And I'm just like, who gives a shit? Like, honey, I'm being here. I'm being proud and visible. And what are you doing? You are sitting over there on a keyboard typing some hateful comment that I'm sure you wouldn't even know how to use a thesaurus, honey. We are drag queens. We are conditioned working in the environment that we work in to know how to read a bitch to filth. And honey, you don't even have words on you. You're a coloring book. You're so fucking easy. Like it is just low hanging fruit. So, I mean, I took the opportunity to be strong for the people that I wish I had in my life, be strong for my sisters who came before me in Stream Queens, and paved a way for Dead by Daylight to just kind of continue that legacy that we're creating as queer people in the space.
I love that. Thank you for
And what
sharing
I
that.
love, just what Evie was saying, is
Mhm.
at the end of the day, we don't know who the fuck these people are. We
Yeah.
don't care for them. Like we already
Mm-mm.
forgot about you. But you, on the other hand, you absolutely know who we are. You know our name, and you're gonna see us if it's on Twitch, Twitter, going viral, whatever the fuck it is.
Mhm.
And I don't know. That just that's the best karma.
I love to see it. Now, speaking of low-hanging fruit, a downloadable update released in April 2002 revealed that David is gay, retroactively establishing it as the first confirmed LGBTQ plus character in Dead by Daylight. What was your reaction and what were your thoughts on DVD's first confirmed queer survivor? Trash, let's start with you.
Yeah, first, before I answer, let's go do the giveaway in the chat.
Oh yes. Y'all please do the giveaway. But y'all, there's free stuff.
Giveaway.
Exclamation point DLC for the Roots of Dread. There's 10 keys. 10 people are gonna win, so you have a big chance of winning one. We're gonna do the giveaway, and I believe Chato or someone else will message you if
Chato.
you win. Oh, they've been doing it. Never mind.
They're doing DLC giveaways and stuff. And
Nightbot
and
one.
make sure
Never
that you
mind.
enable your whispers. We're fog whisperers, so make sure that you can.
Sorry. Well, after this giveaway, we're gonna have another giveaway. When it's not announced in chat, look in chat.
After we're done talking about the low-hanging fruit that is David, we will be doing another giveaway. But they're picking winners now.
Yeah.
So if you just joined, we're talking about David coming out as gay retroactively in an April update in 2002. Trashly, when you found out that he was an out and proud baguette like I am, and Dira was at TwitchCon, how'd that make you feel?
I think at first I was like him, and then I was like, yes, okay, good, him, because I feel like a lot of the macho men love to, run David, and I'm just like, yes. Now he's queer, and they have to deal with that, and I love that idea. But I'm glad that they're including a gay character, so I was very excited about that. I loved it. I don't care if it's retroactive. I think they did their homework. They worked with people. They worked with a queer organization to figure out the best way to do or to add a queer character in their game. And so I celebrated. I threw a party.
Did you take your shirt off?
Yeah. shirtless Trashly and shirtless David.
I had my tits out.
My boyfriend's name is David, and he's
gay,
shirtless,
so
and gay. Yeah.
We love the origin story of David. It's really nice that you were the Farah slut that brought David out and proud. DVD. You were so brave for that, sis. Malignant Mother, please tell us what you feel when David came out as a proud baguette.
I don't know. I kind of knew and I kind of called it. And I was like, I bet you it's going to be David that's gay. But then I also thought, Dwight, because of all I know you've all fucking seen it on the Twitter. You've seen the Dwight and you've seen the David in the locker, and they're doing a little some, they're getting a little flavor in there.
Exchanging headshots and resumes. Yes.
Yes.
Networking.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
You did call it 2 years early.
I did.
You remember? You did.
I think so. You were there, right?
Yeah, it was during Dead by Daylight Pride, the official Pride event. And that day for Pride, for the event, they put out a Twitter statement that was like, we are working on inclusion of queer identities. And then you played a joke on Trashly and I, and you're like, oh my gosh, did you see the update? David's gay, Kate is trans, Naya's a lesbian. And we were like, no way, really? And you're like, no. Just kidding. One of them came true, maybe the other.
Yeah, but I mean, I was really, really happy. We finally have tangible representation within the game. They had already released the charms, but to have an actual character who is representing, the G and the LGBTQIA2S+, I don't know, I just felt very proud. And then circling back to the question, I don't think I answered it. The favorite thing that Behavior's done, for me, it was just the representation. Going back to what Dear said, what company at that time was putting drag queens on their main social media platforms on Twitter? Just seeing my face on there and my busted ass drag at that time, I was just so proud. I remember crying what? And I made a tweet, and I was just, I'm a twit, and I made a tweet, and I was just what, I was crying. What other company is doing this? So moving back to David, I was just in tears again. There is representation now, and it's only going to continue. And I really, really love that, because in a way, Behavior, and there were other games at the time like Overwatch and Apex Legends. They're also paving the way for companies to come out of the fucking closet and really put these diverse characters, regardless of their identity.
Speaking of so what about you, Avidius, when you found out the baguette was out? How did you feel? How did you react? Were you ready for it?
I just love that sometimes game developers take out the trash, and I loved it when they came out, and I was like, the people that were freaking out, I'm never playing that, but thank God, because I don't want those slurs. Yeah. Thank you, please.
Thank the entity. Take them away.
Sweep them out, baby. Sweep them out.
I'll only let a
David.
survivor go if
Well-
they're wearing a pride charm.
Oh,
I don't.
you're like, let me
I-
see your butt.
I believe in equality.
Equality. They all get eaten.
Everyone dies.
Everyone's
I
livers
want-
taste same.
I want to add. I don't know if you're gonna ask me, bitch. Would you like to ask me really quick
Ask you what, dear? Would you want me to
about
ask you?
David? About
Oh
David.
yeah. What'd you think about David? Sounds like a purse. Being
Well,
aggressive.
I think that everyone sort of touched upon it already, but I feel like, within our community, who are the, like, the people that are the most embraced, the hunky white men, right? And I understand that within our own community, it's not the best representation to have
We all saw
the
bros.
hot
No, we didn't. So
the hot mask, like no, within our community, it's a little bit like damaging to always elevate the hot hunky white guy, right? But outside of our community, at the same time, simultaneously, while that's happening within our community, outside of it, who are the people that mainstream media thinks are gay? The effeminate guys, the skinny guys, the guys that wear makeup, us. We're the face of queerness. And so them taking the most mask bro, and within his lore, he plays sports, he plays rugby, he goes to bars, he fights. They took this super mask dude and made him gay. And I feel like it really helped to showcase diversity within our community to other people, not to us, because we know better. The mask guys are not the only ones that exist. But outside of our community, it really shows the Dead by Daylight players that there is more to us than just the drag queens that are partnered
It
with
can
Dead by
happen to
Daylight.
anybody.
Yeah, anyone can be gay. And I like also that they
Retrospectively.
Retroactive, yeah.
retroactively.
Yeah.
And I like
See-
within his lore that they made his aggression part of his queerness because he was lashing out because he was having a difficult time accepting himself. And so the day that he came out to his best friend was the day that the entity took him because he had done enough, I guess, finally coming to terms with him and he could be abducted by the darkness. I just think that it's nice having tropes and flipping them on their heads.
Absolutely. And for those who don't know, horror is queer. You want to talk about the writer of Dracula, Bram Stoker, big old closeted homosexual. Mary Shelley, proud lesbian. Wrote love letters to women, all right? In the 1800s, I don't know when that book was written, whatever it was, she was writing quill and pen to women, love notes
Mhm.
about, queer slang back then about canoodling, all right? The writer of Frankenstein, okay? Literally everybody likes to think that horror is like no, horror is queer because we live very horrific experiences and we translate those to films and TV. The
Into
writer
art.
of Chucky, the creator of Chucky, big old queer. The writer of the original Scream, queer. Okay, the original movie was supposed to, both of those guys were together. There was a scene of them holding hands at the cut in the end film. And if you guys are interested in finding out the origins of queer and horror, I highly suggest going checking out Free Queer Fear. It's a queer docuseries on Shudder where you can also watch Dragula if you want to. Dragula Titans is airing now. But if you want to talk about the origins of horror and you're interested in all of that and realizing damn, literally all this queer coding was all these horror movies, highly goes to Justin, watch it. But dear, I'm gonna go right back to you with this. In addition to David being, DD Pride Charms and the annual Into the Rainbow event, because we all love going into the rainbow, all right? What else would you like to see from DVD when it comes to LGBTQI plus inclusion? Obviously, we need some transness up in there, maybe a trans pride flag or,
Mhm.
asexual, lesbians. What do you want to see? Who you want to see?
My first idea is why not have more diversity charms? The charms are so nice because they're so passive. You could just add it to whatever is your favorite costume and it can totally transform it and help to showcase your proudness of who you are and also let other players know yeah, that bitch that just flashlighted you, yeah, trans woman, boom. Whatever the context is, I think that it's great to show it to the trolls because yeah, there's a lot of queer players, but not every single player is queer, and there are tons of homophobic killers and survivors. I get trolled all the time in the after game chat. It's I hate that charm, that's why I acted the way I did, and it's well, it's not the last one you're going to see today. It's not even the last one you saw in my match that we just played. So I think that just little bits of representation are great. I personally, I'm wearing Naya's hoodie. I think that Naya is very queer coded. She likes cats, you know, she's very independent. She's an artist. She has plenty of tomboyish looks. Like, you know, anyone could say, oh, she's a complete lesbian. And I want that. I think that like, I don't think that you know, it's not that like queerness makes me like a character more, but it makes me respect them more and it makes me connect with them more. And so like just make her queer. I thought that she was gonna be the first one revealed, not David. No hate to David because I like David, but Naya is my favorite original character in the game, and I
Naya's
would love
giving
to
like
see
they're
her.
actually a lesbian. David's
Yeah.
giving like they are DL top until they bottom for the first time. And I feel like we're not, he's just trying to bottom. And then we're about to see him get real fruity real soon, which I'm really excited about. Like Britney Spears t-shirt DLC win. Like I feel like he's gonna give that energy. But Naya's kit and everything, a part of her lore and story, it's very,
Yeah,
I
she's
see what you mean.
living her truth already, I
Yeah.
feel like, but it's
Yeah.
just unsaid. David is like,
Right.
you know, he's
David dipped his
finding
toes in the
himself.
water. He hasn't touched his prostate yet. But you know what? Ghostface is going to get up in there, honey, and explore it, honey. Okay? He's going to take him to the killer shack.
Mhm, mhm.
Bitch, please.
We all know the fantasy. What about you, Elix? What do you want to see LGBTQ inclusion? Like, what do you want to see added to the game?
Oh my gosh. Well, like Jay was saying, like I would like them to have, individual flags so people can really,
Right.
whatever
It's
they
just the
identify
easy, quick
under.
cosmetic. Yeah, definitely.
A search bar because a lot of us gays are very organized and want to keep everything tidy.
Some of us aren't. I publicly said I was ADHD and a hoarder online yesterday. So some of us aren't. So shout out to the ones that are a mess like me. But some of the girls want a search bar. So yeah, search bar.
I think more events. I think events outside of Pride that involve the LGBT community. I think that would be great as well. Not just something and I mean when Dead by Daylight behavior, when they support us in LGBT month, it's not just lip service. It actually means a lot to them and the company. The things they've written to me, like it's just so many beautiful things. But I would like to see it outside of Pride Month. Um, Even though they do have creators such as us representing, ourselves and the community, I would like to see more events that involve people outside of the program and really echo their voices within our community.
All right. What about you, Trashley? What do you want to see that's gay in DBD?
I mean, I don't have much more to add than
Okay.
what Elix and Dira said, but I did want to talk about. I forgot about Chatterbox, who was actually gay before David, but only because of Chatterbox's existing lore from the IP.
Mm.
But anyway,
Chatterbox?
All right.
Chatter. What's his name?
Chatterer?
Chatterer.
Shatterer.
Pinhead?
Yeah,
Pinhead's
Pinhead.
costume? Oh,
Yeah.
and on that note, the
Chatter.
birch.
Is it not Chatterbox?
No,
Do I
it's
just call him? No one's ever corrected me.
no, it's
Or
Chatterer.
did I just
yeah.
make that
It's
up?
Chatterer.
Chatterbox.
Well, I didn't know that about Chatterer, but also the birch, which what is the show? What is the show? The birch is from a show, but she's a costume for the hag, and that was written by a trans woman. So
Yes.
Period.
And she
she
said
says that character was inspired by or is a trans woman too.
yes, yes.
We love to see her. Yes, ma'am. Ividius, anything gay you want to see added to the game in DBD?
Yeah, like said, I think that there's queerness that happens in a lot of other minorities as well, and I'd love to see more of that representation.
Yeah, definitely. Black trans woman, when? Come on, come through.
Yeah. I
Hispanic
just
trans
want to
woman then.
interject really quick.
Mhm.
Exclamation mark DLC. I got a tip off of a producer. Exclamation mark DLC in the chat, y'all. You could win some DLC for Dead by Daylight.
Yes, there's
Woo!
another
Thank you.
giveaway, y'all. Please do
Well, I got
exclamation
shushed when I tried to
DLC.
do that, so
It's okay. Well, now I don't know. What we're doing it. We're here. We're queer.
We're
I
live.
want to see that's gay in the game. Blade Brothers is DLC win.
Happy
And
for the
I would be a
twins.
great
yeah,
I would be a great
the
survivor.
twins, not the twins.
I would be a great survivor.
Please.
I already complain. I die first, so I'll be an easy girly. You could give me perks that suck, that fuck up the team. I don't give a shit. It'd be fun. I don't, just
You
drag
bitches said
representation
too
be
much.
cool. Or Divine as a killer would be dope.
Oh,
I
Divine.
just gotta say it. I think that would be dope.
I would just want her just for the add-ons, like when you're in the blood web and you're getting the different things. Like she'd probably have
But
a lipstick, she'd have a gun, she'd have a flamingo. Like what else would she have? A used tissue.
But make it camp. Maybe
Cha-cha
instead of books, she
heels.
puts you in a condom. Fun.
That's Maury.
For sure. For sure.
You suffocate in there. Well,
suffocating
99.9% of the
in
chance
there?
you'll suffocate.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I
All
gotta
right.
go. That's how I want to go.
So in addition to this panel and many members of the Stream Queens, we all have seen that video of Trixie Mattel with that little girl asking her, like, why do gays play this game? And she just goes, like, I think it's just really fun. But like Detox plays it, Heidi in Closet, Angina, and many other well-known drag artists play and have played DBD. Why do you think so many drag artists stream Dead by Daylight and just gravitate towards the game? Trashly?
Ugh. I don't have a good answer. I think I want to watch that
There's
documentary.
always a good answer. Anything coming out of your mouth is good because you look stunning, by the way.
Oh,
Perfect.
thank you.
Mhm.
I do want to watch that documentary because I feel like horror is like so many people, queer people, gravitate towards horror, and we embrace it. And I feel like a lot of like even like villains in horror films are usually very queer coded, like you were mentioning. And so I feel like that we've kind of like always loved it. Like we always embrace it. Like go Babadook, queer icon, and like yeah, I feel like this is also similar in that well, not only behavior embracing the LGBT community constantly. I think that's a big deal. Like they're putting drag queens on their Twitter feed. They're having pride events and stuff. So it's like, hey, you're all welcome to this game, and this game is for you, and we have pride charms, and it's free for everybody, or the pride charms are, and we have outfits and stuff. So I feel like that's a huge deal. Like you have all these queer streamers streaming the game, and so more queer people play it, and the more queer people that play it, the more queer people are going to watch on Twitch, which makes us want to stream it more. So I feel like that's a big deal, like them just being so welcoming to the community.
Anybody else who wants to touch on that subject? Like, why do you think drag artists or streamers gravitate towards DBD?
Yeah.
Dear, I see your hand raised.
Teacher, call on me.
Yes.
I feel like queer people, drag people, and also just queer people are so like misrepresented.
Before you dive into it, it's the last chance to enter into DLC. So this is your last one to enter in DLC. Sorry to interrupt you. I just want to make sure people had a chance to enter in the DLC for DBD giveaway.
Exclamation mark DLC in the chat, y'all. I feel like queer people are just so misrepresented in any culture that isn't like queer club and queer like shelter kind of spaces. So Dead by Daylight and gaming in general, but also Dead by Daylight specifically, it's like you can log in and you can play, and there's no native voice chat, and so you won't be like called out for being queer. Like Trixie was playing Friday the 13th when she played that, and that's why she was on voice comms, and someone was like,
oh,
wait,
sorry,
are you gay?
My
Like,
bad.
who
I
are
was
you?
dumb. I was so
No,
dumb.
no,
Sorry.
no.
I'm horrible.
No, I think that it's a great example for why Dead by Daylight is so good, because you're not able to talk to people unless you know them and you start a Discord call. And so anyone can jump in, anyone can play, and basically you're anonymous besides your character. Whenever I'm complaining about the game, I'm always like, I hate Feng Min, I hate her in this costume. Like I never know the player because there's no way to communicate
Imagine
with them.
there was a mode where the mics were on, girlies.
It would be so wild. It would be so wild. But I just think that like you have to play it anonymously, and so it gives you like a protection from the toxic community that would come for you if you're like a person like a woman or someone with a different voice or a queer person. Like you don't have people calling you out on it, and so it gives you an anonymity.
We love anonymous glory moments, especially in video games, but also sometimes with holes. Speaking of holes and goals, I know some of you all play Killers and Survivors. We are going to wrap up because we're in the last 5 minutes. So I just want to give you guys a second to maybe pitch what you guys do on your channels and platforms with DBD, and retouch on some of the Killers and Survivors. And then maybe, or you all want to answer this question as well, if you're bored with those, is what killer you would like to see in Dead by Daylight? Whoever wants to start.
I started before, so I'll just get myself out of the way. My name is Dear Let's Play Witch Fear. I like to play scary games up in here. I'm the founder of Stream Queens. Thank you for being here. My favorites are Naya is my favorite original character. My favorite killer is the pig, who I would love to have in the game is Ellen Ripley and the Xenomorph. I think that is like a missed opportunity. Put them in. Let's do it. Let's go.
Acid spit and all. Evidius, what about you?
Yeah, my name is Avidius. My friends call me Evie, and everyone's my friend. So I am a Jane main and also a Plague main. So anything that I would like to see as a killer, I love The Conjuring. So I would really love to have a little bit more of a supernatural type of aspect to a killer. I think that would be wicked. And yeah, I'm live every Wednesday, Saturday, doing my thing, having some beer, giving some laughs, and trying to figure out how to calm this existential dread.
We love that. We love existential dread.
Yeah.
Drashley, what about you? What killer would you like to see in the game? And what can people
Just-
expect when they tune into your channel with some DVD?
Hugh Buffet said it in the chat. The shark from Jaws. Can't wait for it. You can watch.
Could you
me-
imagine the shark with jaws with legs? Could you imagine?
It walks out in heels. Hey.
The
Hi.
first drag
Mama.
killer is the shark from Jaws. It has lashes, contour.
It's like
Um,
jaws with legs.
You played so much.
Yeah, you can find me. I right now I'm doing the Killer Cup, where I'm trying to, it's kind of like the World Cup but more interesting and less people died putting it on. And I'm so yeah, so we're
Only
doing that,
5.
right? I'm a Nemesis main, but not, who knows? Maybe the Bachelorette season 2 will come out, and I play a lot of Kate.
Katie. All right, Elixana. Malignant Mother.
Hello.
I already know the
Malignant
answer, but
Mother.
I want to hear you say it again.
Like,
And
so
what also, what you are a huge like killer main, so like I want to know who would you like to see as a killer in the game?
So pretty much Dear said it. I want to see Ripley as a survivor. I want to see the Queen Xenomorph as the killer. I want her to lay eggs all over the Nostromo being the map, which is her spaceship from the Alien movie, part 1. I want the eggs to kind of work kind of like in a pig trap kind of way when they latch onto you, the little baby face huggers. That's what I really want to see. And what can you find on my channel? I play a lot of Dead by Daylight. I'm getting back into my Hag Juice again. There's a lot of new horror games that have recently come out, so you're going to see me playing all of those. I think I was just playing Devil in Me, and I think in a couple of days I'm gonna, what's that game, Dear? Callisto
Callisto
The
Protocol.
Protocol.
Callisto
It's a
Protocol, yeah.
spiritual successor to Dead Space. Yeah.
Mhm.
and I'm going to get protocols very deep, and I can't wait.
We love the
So,
protocol, Mama. We're
yeah.
gonna do a cosmetic switch real quick, Chesley. Hold on, she's doing a double hat. Okay.
The chat is
Two
the
hat
man.
Kate.
Hat Kate.
Oh my god.
I
Who's
named Two
there?
Hat Kate. She has 2 hats. She has one on her back and one on her head. I'm sorry.
She
I didn't
always
have
got a hat. She's got one for the
my video.
cowboy or girl, depending on what she's gonna ride that day.
Yes. Congrats, winners. Love you. Wow, thank you,
Congrats on those
behavior.
who have won and those who are just tuning in. We had a great time talking about DBD today. I'm Bitch Pudding. I won Dragula season 2. You can currently watch Dragula Titans right now on Shudder, as long as with that Queer for Fear documentary, where you find out a lot about horror is queer. And it's so awesome to be in a space with queer content creators on this DBD panel. Thank you for Behavior for sponsoring. As for killers, I would love to see in the game. I think a FNAF crossover would be kind of cool, like a Five Nights at Freddy's moment. I'm a pizza girly. Obviously, I need a Blue Brothers in there. Come on, at least as a skin. Give us something.
Don't
Twin
enable those
skin is
people on
so
Twitter.
funny.
Do not.
Maybe. And then I would love an aquatic level, whether that be like a cool like shark man creature chasing people in an aquarium, or maybe it's like creature from Black Lagoon, because there's that swamp level already. Like I just think that would be really kind of cool with the meta right now. And I want a water level. I want to go swimming on the first date. I'd look just like this afterwards, I promise. Any last words, ghoulies, before we wrap this up on this DBD Into the Drag Artist Fog Whisperer panel?
Just thank you so much, bitch. Thank you.
Thank you,
you.
bitch.
Of course.
Thank you, bitch.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Behavior, for sponsoring Stream Queens Con 3. And thank you for joining us
Yay.
today. And be sure to stick around all day tomorrow. We have 2 more panels today, and there's a lot of panels tomorrow. And huge shout out to each and every mod that is sitting on their TV, modding the hell out of this awesome Twitch. You know, like we're on the front page, girls, sometimes, and we got queer people up in here, and sometimes the hate be trollation, and we have very amazing mods. So shout out to the mods. Thank you all so much.
Yes, and
Lawrence.
Dumb Bitch Gaming Stream Queens Con 3 edition is coming up next. Woo!
Woo! Wait, dumb bitch.
Dumb Bitch.
Is that me?
Mhm.
Is
all
this
of
a
us.
setup? What? Wait, what?
We're yes.